test, test. here for the third and final match of day 2, as your Rockwood Thunder will be fighting for a place in silver over bronze, as we're taking on the third-ranked team to see if we can take them down and take the third place of this pool and go on to the silver bracket. If that does happen, we'll play at noon tomorrow here in Bartle Hall. If that doesn't happen, we'll be in 4th place and play at 1 o'clock somewhere over in Overland Park, Kansas at a different stadium. So let's hope for the best. And if you guys haven't noticed it, there's a kill from Greta. We got a special guest up ref on our court today, as Uncle Fester from the Adams family is our up ref. Greta will send this one back middle. Libero pushes it up high. This coming from the right side. Reagan will high hand that up. Allie gets under it. Greta sends it to the middle. From the right side again, that's going to come through the block and down. And this team, WPVC, not sure what that stands for. They're from Florida. They're from, looks like around the Orlando area. As Reagan will put another one up forward. Jane gets on top of that one, sends it over. There's a big swing, and that'll find the net and down for a Rockwood point. Allie will find Cam. She's going to send it just a little too strong. That'll take us to a 3-2 score in favor of the team from Florida. Reagan up to Allie, and Allie will get the slide to Cam. That'll find the net. We'll go down 4-2. There's another one. Reagan up to Allie. Jane gets up over the top of it, cuts to the right side. Quick set to the middle, or actually middle back from behind the 10-foot line. Allie finds Jane. Jane gets up over the top of that one and puts it away in nice fashion. This Florida team lost both of their matches in 2 to the number 1 and number 2 place teams. Didn't look like they were very close. We had pretty good matches with both of them. Lost a heartbreaker to the number 2 team, Alliance, and kept it fairly tight with the number 1 team. Good joust, and then Jane will clean up the overpass. We're tied at 4. Can't ever judge by how you do against the other teams and how your opponent does, because this is 16-year-old teenage girl volleyball, and you never know what you're going to get. Jane will serve it down the right side. Quick set to the middle. Great job keeping that one alive by Zoe. And there's a scramble and a free ball coming. Greta to Allie, feeds it to Jane. Jane goes off the high hands. That's going to get played up by the Florida team. That'll come off Allie and back here to me. And we'll hand it back to him. 5-4 in favor of WVPC. That's hard to say. This one will come at Jane. She'll get it up towards Viv. Viv will feed it back to Jane. She's going to hit that one down the line, but on our side of the net. So we'll come back and try it again. Greta will send it forward. Liv runs under it. Jane throws that one down the left side. From the outside, cross court, and that'll fall between our two back row. The ball on the court and a good swing by, I think that was Greta. Seven, 5. And I have this spelt wrong. It is WPVC. Get that cleaned up. And that actually stands for Winter Park Volleyball Club. Jane serve will find the net and we'll take us to 5-8. So there we go. Winter Park near Orlando. Now we know what that stands for. Chloe up to Liv, and she'll turn and dump it. That's picked up. And free ball tried to come over the net, but found the heart of the net. The lead cut to 2, and Cam going back to serve. Cam will try the right side. Libero dives after it. From the outside, Jane picks that up. Liv will get it to Greta. Tips it over the block. That's picked up by Winter Park. Outside swing, Cam's there, and that's an overpass cleaned up by their outside. Greta will play that up to Liv. Back sets it to Zoe Parks. She tips that off the high hands. That's blocked, but blocked out of bounds, and we find ourselves down 4 to this third place team in the pool. Greta dips down for that one. Liv feeds a quick one to Delaney. We play on. That's dumped over. Chloe plays it to Liv, who gives it to Jane behind the 10-foot line. That's all net. And the lead is now 5. That one will come off Jane back here, and we'll line up again down 6. Timeout by Coach Gabby as she'll try to talk it over with her team. We'll be back after the timeout. And we're out of the timeout. Winter Park serving. This one will come as Zoe. Liv's going to feed it to Greta. She will tip it off the block. That's picked back up by Chloe. Pushed into the back middle. Dumped over. Delaney gets hands on it. Good job by Greta to play it. That's picked up as the overpass was tried to clean up. And Greta sends it cross court. From the right side, high hands on it. Liv has to play it. Chloe with the out of system to Greta. She goes off the hands of the net and gets the kill. Reagan sends it over. That one will come off Chloe. Good effort by Jane to get there, but can't help it out. Go back down by 6. It's 13-7 here in the middle of the first set. Again, winner of this goes to silver. Loser goes on to bronze. That'll fall in front of Chloe as she dives after it. Can't get there. That one will sail too far to the right. Greta back to serve, down 14-8. She'll go cross court left side with it. That sprays back. Free ball coming. Let's see if the girls can do something with it. Chloe up to Allie. Feeds it over to Jane. Jane throws it into the back middle. To dump it, that's read by their middle. Picked up. Chloe gets the out of system to Greta from behind the 10-foot line. Winter Park picks it up, and that'll be hit through the block between Delaney and Jane, and we'll take a quick timeout as Jane ties her shoe. And that equipment is all fixed. We're ready to get back to live action. This one at Reagan. She'll dive in and get that one, and Allie will get. Thought she got the tip over, but that will actually sail just a little too far and went out of bounds. Good effort by both girls. 16-8 now in favor of Winter Park. Chloe up to Allie. Back sets it to Delaney. That goes out of bounds as well. And another timeout from Gabby. We're down 10. Reagan will play this one up to Allie. Jane gets a swing on it. Reagan throws a paw up at it. Can't play it forward as that was blocked back real quick. It's 18-8. Sorry, I had the wrong score up. Reagan up to Allie. Cross court, good dig by Chloe. Greta unable to get there to help her out. And now it's 19-8. Greta up to Jane. I'm sorry, to Allie, who finds Jane. Jeez. From the right side, that'll go right down the line. And things not going well at all. Chloe to Allie, to Jane. Jane tips it over the block, picked up by Winter Park. From behind the 10-foot line, Chloe will play it forward. Allie gets it back to Greta, who will send it back right corner. Quick set to the middle, and that's off the block and down on the right side. Greta to Allie. She'll turn and dump it. Finds the hurt donut. Chloe will send it left side. Setter pushes it to her right side. That comes back. Greta does a good job with that one. Gets it back, hits it from behind the 10-foot line. Free ball over. Allie feeds it to Jane. Jane will have the net with it. Greta to Allie. Gets it to Jane. Jane goes high and up over the block and off the back middle. Gets us to double digits, down 12, 22 to 10. Allie with serve. She'll send it cross court. Libero fights it off. Down ball sent deep. An inbound line. And when things go bad, they all go bad, as that looked like it was sailing out. Jane up to Liv. Pushed over to Zoe Park. She'll send it cross court. From behind the 10-foot line, Greta has that. Liv runs it down, but unable to get it to a teammate. And we're at set point, and this did not go pretty. Chloe gets it to Liv. Jane gets a kill. She hit that one nice. Signs of life. That'll sail too far, and that'll do it for set one, as the girls got a massive punch in the face in set one. We'll see how they respond in set two when we get back. All right, we're back for set 2. Let's see what the girls come out swinging. See what they do. Got to win set 2 to push for a third set, as Reagan will start us off. Back middle. Quick set to the middle. That's dumped over. Allie has to play it. Cam and gets it to Jane. Jane just dumps it over. From the outside, that's blocked. The rebound picked up. Reagan will get the out of system to Jane, and that's going to go too far. And Winter Park will take the first point of set 2. Girls got to find a way to get in system here, and I think they can overpower this Winter Park team if we could just do that. Allie will push it to Jane. Jane will turn on it, but too far. That'll go out of bounds to the left. I think you got to be cautious of here is trying to do too much when you're down, trying to make something happen. Chloe up to Allie. Greta from behind the 10-foot line. Good swing, good job of Winter Park picking it up. Chloe will grab that cross court. Greta again. This time she'll take a little off, dump it in the Hertz donut. Point 1, Rockwood. Kennedy will shoot this one at the libero left side. Push back to the right side. Kennedy will play that forward. Allie will feed Greta. Greta cuts that around, tools off the block, and we're tied at 2. Kennedy will shoot it at the libero again. This one pushed over the outside. That off the high hands. Chloe unable to dive in and get to it. And we'll have Winter Park back to serve up a single digit. Reagan will step in front of this one, get it up to Allie. And that one goes right into the net. Another one at Reagan. She'll squat down, put that one up to Allie. She'll feed it to Greta. Greta will hammer that one through the block. Cut that lead back to 1. It's 4-3 in favor of Winter Park. Cam line drive over the net. Will land the ace. She'll go back to the well. This one's going to get played up. Pushed over to the outside. That's going to go on the outside of the antenna. Oh, my God. How could you not call that? At least the down ref called it. The line judge standing there looking like a moron. Like she's not even watching the game. That was 3 feet out of bounds, and the line judge not even paying attention. Cam to the left side. Pushed over to the right side. That's going to hit the net. And your Thunder's up 2 now, 6-4. Cam will shoot it left side. Tough one. Setter's got it. She gets it to her outside. And that's going to sail out of bounds and be another Thunder point. Winter Park's asking for the tip, and the up ref says no can do. He's not even going to look at the line judge because she's not even watching, so she's just standing over there smiling. Cam goes deep left corner. That was probably going out. Got a little help. Kennedy will play that one. Greta unable to get it up and over the court, or over the net. That'll be 4 on our side. Reagan will get this one up to Allie. She has options. Gets it to Greta. Greta hammers it down the left side. That's somehow played up. Reagan and Kennedy come together on that one, and Greta will tool that one off the front block and get another Rockwood point. Allie will shoot the middle with this one. Quick set to the middle. That goes off the hands at the block and a Winter Park point. Low serve, picked up by Kennedy. Liv runs a ways to get it, gets it to Greta. She sends it back row, sprayed back. Libero gets the out of system to the outside. Good hands on it at the net, diving dig by Kennedy. Greta will send it off the hands into the back row. That's a long drive. That's going to go far too long and take us to 9-6. Greta gets her sign from Coach Gabby, surveys the court, sends it down the seam right. Setter back sets it to her right side. That somehow stayed inside the antenna. Liv dumps it into the middle. Libero gets it to her outside. Greta picks it up. Liv feeds Jane. Jane tips it into the old Hertz donut, and they're going to say she got a pancake. Nicely done, and Zoe Parks will send it down right side. Cross court, great dig by Greta. Jane puts it this time down as no pancake there. And Rockwood goes up 4. Greta switches over to the other side, sends it cross court, sprays off. There's an ace. And a timeout for Winter Park. We'll be back when we get done with the timeout. All right, back out of the timeout. Greta serves. She'll send it cross court. There's another tough one. That's going to go out of bounds. Chloe played it. Liv will get it to Zoe Parks. A little miss hit. Played up by Winter Park. That's rejected, and there's he's going to call it clean, but that looked like a lift to me. Jane's going to get it over to Zoe Parks. She sends it back deep. From the outside, that's rejected by Zoe. Winter Park gets the scramble. Free ball over. Greta to Liv. Liv feeds it to Zoe Davis. That's off the hands and down for a kill. The girls worked hard for that one, and we got them doubled up, 12-6 here in the second set. If you're just joining us, we dropped the first set in an embarrassing fashion, and the girls are responding good after getting the old Mike Tyson punched in the face. Now they got a plan. Greta off the top of the net. Jane's there to clean up the overpass and hammers it down. Now we're feeling some momentum. The girls are back to playing like they know how to play. Greta, what a service. That one looked like it went through the net to me. It barely made it over. Sprays off back row. Stretches the lead to 8. And you can feel it now as the girls are starting to get that energy. That time it did hit the net. Good run by Greta there and got us some good mojo. Girls have had a hard time recovering from that loss in the first match. That was a real heartbreaker, and first signs of life we've kind of seen is they're getting a little energy here. Greta will play this one to Liv. She gets it to Zoe Davis. Big swing, picked up back row. There's a big block by Zoe and Jane as that great wall of rockwood goes up. Sends that one home to Cinder, Elvis style. Chloe goes seam left, catches the libero asleep. The lead is 9. She'll go right side, sprays all the way over left. Setter gets it to her middle. That's rejected by Cam. Cam says, not today, not on my watch. Lead is now 10. Chloe gets the signal from Gabby. Sends it short right. Setter has to run a long way. Gets it to her outside. Tips it over the block. Liv has to play it. And that's a no-go as Liv couldn't play it from the floor. We'll take that. 3-4 points, everybody that steps up to serve. That's a good formula for a victory. This one comes cross court, goes a little awkward off Greta, across the net and out of bounds. Definitely want to get the side out quick here. Don't want to give away any of this momentum. Greta will sidestep, get that one up to Liv. She'll find Zoe Parks. Zoe got all of that and a bag of popcorn, sent that one to the net. Greta up to Liv. Finds Zoe again. She has to sidestep that one a little bit and keep it in play. That one crossed the net. Picked up by Chloe as that was blocked. Good swing by Jane. That one tipped over the block, and the girls need to get a side out. They're giving away some of this good mojo we had rolling. The lead cut to 6. Liv does a great job of keeping that alive, but that's a no-go. And suddenly the tides are turning. Chloe to Liv. Back sets it to Zoe. Zoe goes off the high hands. Setter gets it to her outside. That's blocked at the net. Chloe up to Liv. She's going to feed it to Cam. Cam powers that through the block. Goes off the back row. That's going to get tapped over, and Chloe and Greta look at each other, but get it played up, and Liv does a good job of putting it in play. That's rejected by Zoe Parks. Comes cross court. Greta gets a paw on it, but that's about it. And that's going to draw a timeout from Coach Gabby as that lead's cut to 4. We'll be back after the timeout. Out of the timeout. Let's see if we can win this timeout battle as Winter Park serves. Greta will get it up to Liv. She feeds it to Cam. Cam goes off the high hands, picked up back row. From the right side, that's rejected, but picked up by Winter Park and sent over in 2. Cam this time has a good chance to put it away, and she takes full advantage of it. As you could see it big in her eyes, she had a wide open left side of the court and put it there nicely. 18-13, Reagan back to serve. She'll send it at the middle, has to squat down to play it up. From the right side to the outside of the auditorium as that one went sailing. 19-13. Reagan tries the right side this time, sprayed straight up in the air. Outside takes a big swing at it, pops it up. Greta Allie gets a nice tip over off the block and he gets herself a kill. It's the beauty of her being a setter in the front row. She can go up and play those. Reagan goes down that right side again. Setter feeds it to her right side. That's going to come cross around the block and right here in the coffin corner on the left side. Holding on to the 6-point lead here as we roll into the back third. This is a must-win set number 2, so we can carry it into a third set. Chloe up to Allie. Pushes it to Jane. Jane's blocked. Good job, Cam, to sit there and watch it and play it. Greta from behind the 10-foot line will send that one too far to the right. Reagan will send this one to Allie. She'll turn and dump it. Big swing from the outside and a good pickup by Chloe. Jane gets over the top of it, but picked up by Winter Park. Dumped over from the right side. Good job by Greta to run it down, and Jane will hit it left-handed on over. Dumped over from the outside. Greta is going to send that one into somebody's picnic basket over in the next court. And we'll line up and do it again down or up 4. Greta to Allie. She back feeds it to Cam, blocked. Chloe picks up the rebound. Jane will send it back middle. Girls starting to play a little tentative. Chloe has that go off her platform and over towards the bench. Leads 3. Girls need to get that moxie back, get that confidence. Chloe to Allie with the slide to Cam, and that works as she tools it off the block, and it goes down. Kennedy in. We'll see if she can knock 4 of them out for us real quick and send us into set 3. That one sprays off the libero, gets some help from her defender. Kennedy plays that up to Allie, finds Greta. Greta goes off the block. From the outside, that's played cross court. Chloe to Allie, Allie to Greta. Greta cuts it, picked up by Winter Park. Right side tips it over the block. Chloe and Allie come together. Allie gets it to Greta. Just a game of tipping right now. From the outside, Reagan reads that one, has it up to Allie, tipped over. Diving effort. Tipped again from the outside. Reagan up to Allie. Allie gets it to Greta. There's a full swing, but that's blocked. Tip from the right side. Allie has to read it. Chloe plays the out of system to Greta. That's blocked, but down on their side. And there's a long rally won by your Rockwood Thunder, and they'll take the 22-17 lead. Kennedy to serve another. She'll send it seam left. Push back to the right side. Cross court. Reagan high hands that one, defends it off. And Greta will send it into the Hertz donut. Good effort by the libero to play it. Reagan up to Allie. Allie's going to push it all the way over to Greta. She'll find a gap between the block and send it down into the middle. And a timeout from Winter Park. We'll be back to finish this off. Kennedy to serve. She'll send it down the left side. Libero picks it up. Quick one to their middle. That one will go off alley and out of bounds. 23-18. Short serve into the net, and we're at set point. 1 point away from pushing this to a third and decisive set to see if the girls can continue on into silver. Cam hopefully can do that with an ace and get us out of here. That one's a tough one. Bounced around, free ball coming. Kennedy to Allie, and Greta will get her taken care of. And we're moving on to a third and final set. We'll bring it to you here shortly. All right, set 3. Here we go for all the marbles. Greta up to Allie. She'll turn and dump it. That goes awkward off the libero. Free ball over. Allie has to play it, so Chloe gets it to Jane. She'll go off the block. This one will come cross court. Reagan plays that up to Allie. She'll push it over to Jane. Allie gets it too far out for Jane, and I never reset the score. My bad. First point will go to Winter Park. Chloe will have this one go a little off of her, and Allie will run it down. Cam gets a good swing on it. That's dumped over. Jane with what a great play as she dives after that one, sends it over. And that one is dumped into the front right corner in front of the 10-foot line. And that did not go our way. We're down 2-0 here in the third set. As you remember, third sets always go to 15, so you got to come out strong. Chloe has that one go off to the left. Jane will help her out, and Reagan will dump it over. That's blocked at the net by Allie and Cam. Cross court. Greta gets a hand on it, but that's all the more she can do with it. Greta will send this one up to Allie with the slide to Cam, and that's going to go too far. And the errors are starting to add up here. We'll make a quick change out at the middle. This one, Chloe dives in after it, sends it over. And that one will come down in the middle, and the race to 5 is won. And it's a skunk, 5-0 in favor of Winter Park. And the girls have definitely got their work cut out for them here in the third set. Starts with 1 point right here. Let's get this side out. That one, both Chloe and Reagan will duck under. And there it is, point 1. 4 more, and we're back to even. I did all that without having to take my socks and shoes off to count. Kennedy will shoot it left side. Libero plays it up. Quick set to the middle, and that's a quick point for us as that found the net. And our sister club, Rockwood 16 Navy, has been watching the match as they're rooting their sister club on. That'll sail too far to the right and go out of bounds. They're trying to will a victory out of their sister club here. Appreciate them coming to support us. Kennedy up to Allie. Pushed over to Greta, and Greta hammers that one through the block and down. Chloe back to serve. Down 3. She'll send it left side. Setter gets it to her right side, and that's going to go around the block and down for a kill. Kennedy up to Allie. Pushes it over to Greta. She'll adjust on it and get it over. From behind the 10-foot line, down ball into the donut hole. A diving effort by Chloe. And Greta will shoot it over to the right side. From the outside, that's rejected, and Zoe Davis will keep it alive. That's going to get blocked, and Allie will get the kill as she tooled that one off the block and down. Reagan did a good job of laying off of that one as it was coming back at her. Allie coming in, down 3, see if she can cut into this lead. And there's a low driving serve that runs the setter all the way over the other side. And that's a hit that's hit all the way back here to our sister club, Navy. And take us to the Hines 57 score as Allie will find the antenna with that serve. Short serve. Zoe Davis plays that up, and Liv will get it to Greta. That one comes all the way back left. Diving effort by Kennedy. And the work and score means the girls have a lot of work to do. 9-5 as we're down here almost a handful. The guy who plays with Dynamite handful. Kennedy up to Liv. She tries to get the slide to Zoe, but that was off on their timing. Down ball off Chloe, off of Kennedy, and now we're down 5. 10-5 as Winter Park has run the race to 5 and the race to 10, and the girls are going to have to win the race to 15. All right, do or die here, girls. Got to get 5 back in a hurry. Chloe up to Liv. Back sets this slide to Zoe Parks, and that time it's going to bounce off the back row. That's get tipped over. Greta gets it to Liv, who finds Zoe Davis, and Zoe will tuck it in the back left corner and put that one to bed. Told it a nice little bedtime story. 10-6. Score's right. Up ref, wasn't sure the score was right. It is. All he's got to do is ask me. Greta will get the ace as that goes for, oh no, they played it up. Greta has to get under that one, and a good job by Liv to get that up to Zoe Parks, so the girl stayed alive on that. That's off the antenna, and that'll be a Rockwood point. Greta will shoot the right side. That's going to come all the way over. Liv will have to play it. Chloe gets it to Greta from behind the 10-foot line. That's a tough one, and that's going to be a kill for Greta. A lead cut to 2. She'll go back to that right side again. That sprays all the way over. Chloe to Liv. Jane will go left-handed with it and get a kill. Took a little something off of it. That's a timeout for Winter Park. The lead cut to 1, and you can feel the momentum changing. We'll be back after this brief timeout. Greta to try to tie it up. She goes seam right. Setter pushes it to her right side. That's off the block. Chloe gets it to Liv. Jane goes off the high hands. It's played up. From behind the 10-foot line, that was not attacked above the net, so that was fair. There's a kill for Zoe Parks. Any of you questioning, that was a back row player, but instead of her jumping and playing it above the net, she stayed down low and played it as a down ball. That's legal, even though she was in front of the 10-foot line. Zoe Davis will win that joust, but it comes back over. And she'll sit in that left corner, and that's our point, even though Gabby was screaming for an over-the-net call, and the up ref didn't have it. But that's a Rockwood point anyway, and your Thunder will now be rolling up 1 point with the momentum on our side. Greta goes back to the well. That sprays off, and you can feel it. You can feel the energy in the building as everything going Rockwood's way right now. And I'll quote our friend Garth Brooks, let the thunder roll. (12-10) here in the back part of the third set. Winner goes to silver, loser goes to bronze. From behind the 10-foot line, tipped over. Chloe runs it down. Liv turns it, dumps it into the Hurts donut. And that hurts, don't it? Timeout, Winter Park. We'll be back for the finale. All right, Greta to serve it up to take us to set point. That was popped straight up in the air. This will come free ball. See if the girls can put it away. Greta to Liv. Pushes it out to Jane. She has to make an adjustment. Just tips it over. Over to the outside. That's off the block. Comes off Greta, and that'll be a Winter Park point. They're not going to go down without a fight. The girls are going to have to battle back, win this side out, and then put it away. How about a Noonan missed serve? Short serve. Jane's got it. Liv back feeds it to Zoe Parks. She goes off the high hands. Picked up back row. Pushed over to the outside. Good job getting hands on it at the net. Chloe to Liv. Back sets it to Zoe Parks. That goes way too far. And the lead is cut to 1. It's time for the Hex. Noonan. Chloe will get that one up to Liv. Quick set to Zoe Davis. She pushes it back left. Over to that outside again, tipped over. Liv, and we're tied at 13. Timeout by Gabby, as we can't do this without causing a heart attack. It's tied at 13. We'll be back after this timeout. All right, let's play it out. It's a game to 2. You have to win by 2. Jane will duck down and get that one. Liv's going to feed it back to her. Jane will go off the block. That's picked up. To their outside, cross court. Chloe gets hands on it. Liv runs it down and will free ball it over, and Liv gets pushed back onto the court by her sister club. That's a scramble. Zoe Davis punches it over, and the girls get regrouped. Cross court, Chloe grabs it. Big set by Liv and a huge hit by Jane, but picked up. That joust is won by Jane, and she'll send it home. Set and match point in favor of your Rockwood Thunder. Get off your couch, get on your feet at home, and root them through this as we're at set and match point. Zoe Davis sends it down the left side. That somehow made it over, and oh my God, how he didn't call that a lift, I don't know. Open-handed, lifted up, and fate was just not there, as that was a heck of a serve by Zoe Davis. 14 all. Greta up to Liv. Jane will tip it over the block. That's going to bounce to the setter. From behind the 10-foot line and down cross court into the open gap. And that's an unfortunate event, as that should have been the end on that last point. Girls need this side out. Off the tape, Greta plays it. Liv gets it to Jane. Jane sends it. The up ref is going to say it was long. He's going to call it, and that'll do it. We will fall in 3. And unfortunately, that's going to be on the up ref on that one. And we'll be in bronze, so we'll be over in Overland Park tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.